Hey, I'm Mads from Savage Gear. Today I have a special thing I want to show you, the drop shot kit. So the drop shot kit is a box that contains everything you need to get started drop shotting. You got these brilliant little retail minnows. You have 2 sizes and you have 4 different colors. And you have 2 different sizes of these standout jig hooks, and I'll show you how to tie them on. And you have a good length of recoil braid, and then you have a handful of drop shot weights in different sizes. So the whole key about fishing drop shot is that you can keep a lure suspended off the bottom without getting caught in snags and stuff, and you can make it very, very live in the water. You can present it directly on the fish, and you can determine how far away from the bottom you want this lure to work. So the first thing I do is I take a piece of monofilament. In this case it's about 1.5 meters or so. I pass the monofilament through the eye of the hook, and I do that twice to form a little loop. Take a little bit of excess line like so, and pass it through again. Then I wrap that around my main line 4 to 5 times, like that, and back through both loops. And then tighten that down with a little saliva on like that, so you don't burn the line. So you have that perfect standout effect. Then I pass this end of the line through the little tube here on the side. This way I actually create that perfect standout effect, like that. Okay, then at the end here I'm going to put a little piece of recoil braid. I'll show you how to do that. So I take that little piece of recoil braid here, and I don't want too much, I just want enough to give a lot of life to that lure. I'm going to tie about 20 centimeters or so. So I start by cutting that off, and then I make a grinner knot to attach the recoil braid to the bottom part of the monofilament. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to do it too much, and don't tighten it down all the way. Then I turn it around and I just do a few loops, a few turns through the loop on the recoil braid. The recoil braid is a 16 strand braid that's made of PE, so it's very, very elastic. So that will give the most amazing recoil bouncing effect to the lure. So you can see what I did is I tied a uni to uni knot that looks like that. So it's very, very small, very, very fine. And right now I've just tightened them down so it can't slip anywhere. Okay, so I can cut down these 2 ends, trim it down, and now I'm almost ready. So this is basically your standard drop shot rig with a recoil tippet or recoil effect, and you'll see what that little piece of recoil braid does to your lure. Then I just pass the end of the recoil braid through that little swivel, and as you can see, that swivel has a little tip end that sort of locks the recoil braid in position. If I fish in an area where there's a lot of snags and a good chance that I'm gonna get hung up with this lead, I won't tie a knot at the end of the recoil braid. But where we're gonna be fishing today, there's not a big chance that we're gonna get hung up. So what I do, not to lose the lead too easy, is that I just tie a single little overhand knot at the end of the recoil braid, like so. And that little knot will make sure that I don't lose the lead too easy. So you will see here that just locks it neatly in position, and basically it's not going to fall off too easy. I've got my monofilament main line, or line up to my mainline braid, and I've got my standout hook, as you can see here. And then all I have to do is just take one of these little lures, and you can rig it two ways. You can rig it just like that. If you want it very vivid and very erratic motion, I just take it straight through the head like that. Or if you're fishing in a current or you're fishing right on top of the fish, I tend to have more success rigging it up the shank like so. And this way you won't get as many short bites. So that's basically how simple it is to rig up the recoil drop shot rig. As you can see, in the kit you get two sizes of hooks. The bigger size is for the big V-tail minnow, and the smaller size is for the small one. So this is a great way to get started on drop shotting. Now I've showed you how to tie it and how to mount the lure. So let's go and see how it works in real fishing. Okay, let's try this spot right here. Sweet little spot. Drop that down behind that pillar right there. All the way down. It's on the bottom. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap. Come on. Yep. Oh, that's a good fish right there on the drop shot. Wow. Right there, drop shotting right behind the pillars. Beautiful fish. See how he took that V-tail minnow right there. So, shows you how dead effective drop shotting in this current behind these pillars is. So I'm basically keeping my lure static right in the face of the fish, and this little piece of recoil here just gives it even more life. So I can basically just drop it right behind those pillars and work it down like that, and they just can't resist that.